yes, yes, yes. Got to love a summer break. Really needed this, I did. Hello? Speaking? The weather center's been upgraded. Excellent. And what's the weather like in Greece this week? It only does race weekends. Well, what's the point of having that? Alright, what about the car? The underfloor's done? Excellent. And will it stop K-Mag from locking up and driving off into the countryside? Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Kicking Haas. We are post-summer break now. We are at the Belgian Grand Prix and I'm excited for this one. I think it could be a very, very interesting race for us. Now there's a little bit that's happened over the summer break that we need to catch you up on. First thing though, we can see there that K-Mag has got a development point that he got last race. Now is there anything for Correa? Oh, Correa's absolutely flying. He's going to be racing in Formula 1 before we know it. Now, let's go with defending for K-Mag. Yeah, I mean, it's his lowest attribute, and it is kind of important, especially if we are qualifying well and trying to hold off cars coming through. One manual Correa, I mean, it doesn't really matter what he gets, does it? I mean, accuracy should probably be a little bit higher than 41, but again, it doesn't matter because he's not going to be racing in our car anytime soon. Do we have any staff with attributes? Yes, our head of aero has an attribute point. What's his lowest thing? It's high speed downforce, so let's add one to that. And our race engineers do not have anything extra. Now, if we go to facilities, we did have an upgrade to our, is it operational facilities, weather center. So that is now a level 3, which is good. So that is, what does that give us? Oh no, weather forecast accuracy is 80%, I see. So we have 100% effectiveness of our 80%. Okay, so that's better. The other thing we've had to do is we're upgrading the boardroom. The reason for that is the condition had dropped, so I figured rather than pay money to refurbish it, we'll just upgrade it. So it was about $500,000, I think, to do that, a little bit more. So that will be coming in the next, well, one day left. So during the race weekend, that will actually be, it'll be nice and new by the time we get back from Belgium. Now, the other thing we had to show you is if we go to our car, we have got a new underfloor. So if we go to have a look at car analysis and we have a look at our rankings on the grid, we can see that with this, we now are 5th in low-speed corners, 9th in medium-speed corners. Now, unfortunately for us, Belgium has high-speed corners, so it doesn't actually help us here, but moving forward, it will. And yeah, so that's obviously all progress. The only other new part we have coming for this season, if we go to part development here, is an underfloor research. No, it's side pods. Yeah, the side pods are coming. We needed a new chassis because we crashed too much. So that's all that is. So they're coming in 15 days. And after that, we're researching for next year's car. So our last upgrade will come in the next 1 or 2 races. I'm not sure exactly how long we have between races, but yeah, we're very much starting to turn our focus towards next season's car at this point. Now, if we just have, well, you saw the standings here. We're 6th in the constructors. Now, I imagine a lot of teams are going to start moving their focus towards next season, so I don't think it'll affect us too badly. Worst case scenario, we will finish 7th. McLaren are surely not catching us at this point. And we could, in theory, Alfa Romeo and Alpine are not a mile away from us. What's that, 14 points or so? But yeah, I mean, if we have a good race, you know, then maybe we turn our focus back to this season. But we're pretty much 6th or 7th for this season, and I think we look to next season to get the better car there. Now, let's have a look at our performance targets for this potential well, it is not a potential race; it is an actual race. What we should probably have a look at first is the track information. So we are expecting. Oh, now we can see the. Sorry, let's start again. We can see the sectors for qualifying. Yeah, you can see there red, blue, and yellow. And if we have a look sections by speed, it is a high-speed track. There's just really the 2 slower corners, isn't there? That sort of just either side of the start-finish line. So yeah, top speed, acceleration are required, and maybe not the best car for that, but I don't know. I feel like we could have a decent race here. Expected strategies, it's a one-stop, essentially, so we don't have to worry about saving tyres. And there's the compound performance. Again, I don't fully understand. I mean, average lap for that many laps, I suppose, is what way to look at it, isn't it? So it actually looks like a soft tyre might, for 25 laps around Singapore, around Belgium. That's a long way. It's almost half race distance, actually, isn't it? It's only a 50-something race lap, I think. So anyway, 44 laps. So yeah, it's very much. So you could do the whole race on a hard. So we start on a soft, we go to a hard whenever there's a safety car, basically. Anyway, I've got sidetracked there, haven't I? Qualifying positions, reach Q3. We definitely should reach Q2. That should be a no-brainer. Can we reach Q3 with K-Mag? We've done it in the past, so let's go with that. First position, top 12, I'd like to think someone can do that. And we've got qualifying position. We've got to get a car in the top 14. And we've got twice and then twice in race as well. And we'll get our bonus money there as well. So that's everything caught up on. We're finished the summer break. Let's get back to the racetrack. So we have a chance, oh, well, there is not a chance, there is going to be rain on Saturday. Now that just matters now whether that is for practice or for qualifying, but that isn't a chance for us to get that right and move ourselves a little bit further up the grid than we otherwise would be. I'm going to go and do free practice. I will see you for qualifying and, well, let's hope for some rain. Alright, so free practice is done. Now, if we go and have a quick look at the results, you will see, the first thing you'll see is that there are a lot of guys at the top of the standings here that are going to take penalties. So it's not been great for us personally. You can see there we were 10th and 13th in FP1. FP2, K-Mag was 12th, and Sargeant was a little bit lower down there in 15th, and that was both on the soft tyres. And then FP3, again, not particularly good. I mean, Sargeant looks as though he might be struggling to get out of Q1. So I thought we might do okay here. I think I may have overestimated what we can do. And, I mean, Magnussen's been spinning off everywhere again. But, you know, we're here. There was a red flag in FP1, so we lost time. You can see we haven't actually got a setup yet from K-Mag. I think we've got a good setup for him that is going to be sort of a similar rated to Sargeant, but we just don't know yet. So let's go to Q1, see if this rain shows up. It was raining in FP3. So it may be that we don't get any rain here, but we'll watch our Haas's as they ever come out. You can see there's not expected to be rain. It doesn't look like. So yeah, let's get Q1 underway. All right, so Sargeant is coming around to start his lap in Q2. His second lap. You can see Magnussen is 9th. He is currently 11th. There's a lot of cars behind us that are way off the pace. So I do wonder a little bit, yeah, how accurate that is. Now, given that it is a very long lap here around Spa, we will ×2 it. And we've had a crash on track. There's a lot of green sectors behind us as well, which is never good. Gasly has crashed. He is currently in front of us, so that doesn't really help us necessarily. Unless we get in front of him kind of thing. But he can still eliminate us even though he's out, which is... There he is there, isn't he? Now, have we had to back off? I'm assuming we have. Yeah, I'm not sure if we've had to back off there or not. But anyway, let's see what the middle sector is. If that's the case, then Gasly has stuffed everybody's laps up equally, hasn't he? See if we get some second sector times, both yellow. So everybody behind us there. We are going to get through, it looks like. Sargeant could still miss out, but... Oh, he has got through just. So there we go. Sergio Perez is the fastest in that session. Now you can see here now, obviously Gasly is out, and there's a lot of guys here taking penalties, so that should push Sargeant. The worst he can do now is 14th, and then with penalties potentially a little bit higher as well. So let's go to Q2. Alright, so second run in Q2. They've both done a lap on used tyres. K-Mag is currently... I've lost him. Where is K-Mag? He's currently 8th. Sargeant is 14th. He's way off. I'm pretty sure he got blocked by, I think it was Sainz in the Ferrari on his lap. So again, we'll go to ×2 speed, just because it is a very long lap, and see what he can do. We have the last two cars on track. K-Mag's gone green, so is Sargeant. I think realistically, I mean, if Sargeant gets ahead of, say, Guan Yu Zhou, that'll be magnificent, but I don't foresee him being much higher than 14th. We'll see what K-Mag can do as well, of course. If he can get into Q3, that'll be massive, because we haven't really looked like doing that all the way through free practice. So he's dropped down to 10th now. You suspect he is going to drop out, and then it's just a matter of whether he's done enough to get himself back in. So here we go. K-Mag coming up to cross the line. And he has not done enough, and Sargeant has not done enough either. So qualifying ends with a double Q2 elimination. K-Mag in 11th, Logan Sargeant in 12th. Sorry, in 14th. So we will see how close was he from... Oh, he's only a quarter of a second off from Guanyu. There's going to be penalties here. We can see that. So let's go and see what sort of strategy and where we're going to start the race. So we're not expecting any rain. We start 8th and 11th, so that's not too bad. I still wonder if soft onto hard, is that the way to go? Maybe that is the way to go. And do we push really hard on a soft tyre to start with and then go over to the hard early? There's a big part of me with Logan Sargeant that wonders if we go hard to soft. So if we were to do hard to soft, we'd come in lap 29 or so. If there's a safety car, we could always come in and put a medium tyre on. I just wonder if maybe that's the best way to do this race with Logan Sargeant, because he's going to have faster cars behind him. So yeah, we might do that with him, and then with K-Mag we'll do the more traditional race, and yeah, we'll push hard, we'll come in early, get the hards on, and then go to the end. I guess time will tell if that strategy is gonna work or not. Hopefully K-Mag just keeps it on the road for us, and yeah, well, let's do this, see how we go. Alright, so here we go for the Belgian Grand Prix. I'm assuming it is Perez and Sainz. Who was taking the penalty? Was it Sainz or Leclerc? It's Leclerc. Let's jump on board with Logan Sargeant. He just needs to try and hold position here if he can. We've got K-Mag. You can just see it says Haas on the back of his car up there. That's K-Mag. Looks like he might be in a bit of a battle here with Ocon over 6th. And, well, he's got a really, really good start here. Let's have a look what tyres everybody else is on. So Sargent's the only one on the hards. I mean, there's an argument you could do medium. Could we have done medium soft? Maybe that's something I could have done. But if Sargeant can, he's just got to stay in the game here, hasn't he? If he can stay in the game, keep himself close-ish, and then when we go on softs at the end, everybody's going to be on worn hards, and he should be able to... Oh, and someone is locked up. There it is. Perez that is locked up. So K-Mag goes to 5th. And it takes Sargeant up to 9th as well. So, well, that is interesting, isn't it? And we'll just stay with this, because it looks as though Hamilton and Russell in the Mercedes, and we've seen how many times the Mercedes just don't seem to have the race pace, do they? Now, I've got to be a little bit careful here with the ERS. I think... Yeah, I don't know. I don't... yeah, it's one of those things that you always want it, but you can't always have it. So let's, with K-Mag, go back to neutral. And let's try it with Sargeant going back to neutral as well. We'll get an idea here. Now, okay, so the Mercedes are both on medium, so maybe that's why they're looking a little slow. Now, of course, we won't have DRS this lap. Next time around, there will be DRS. So how's Sargeant looking here? I wonder if Sargeant maybe does need the ERS. Now, why is there a yellow flag? Is K-Mag okay? K-Mag is fine, okay. Actually, K-Mag looks like he might be setting up for a move here. Bottas has spun. And let's see if K-Mag can send one down the inside of George Russell here. Come on, K-Mag. He has a look, It's not quite there for him. Can he pinch him in? No. He can just maybe stick to the inside here. All right, he's got a good run out of there, and he's backed out of it. Maybe sensibly so. Maybe sensibly so. All right, well, let's go to the external view here and see Sargeant and Tsunoda are sort of right there. DRS even is enabled. And Russell, is he going to have DRS from his teammate? If not, he should be a little bit of a sitting duck here for K-Mag, to be honest. We've got a good run out of La Source. I always think it just should be called The Source. I don't know. It's what I used to think it was when I was a kid. And we sit in behind here. He does not appear to have DRS. Just old George Russell. Why don't we have DRS? Well, that's horseshit. What's going on there? Can we send it in this time? No, but let's go deploy out of here and see if we can get him up the inside.
Copy that.
Into the hairpin, no. So we'll sit there for another lap, it looks like now. And Sargeant is still behind Lando Norris. We'll stick him back to neutral. And I mean, if he can sit there, I'd be absolutely delighted. He's just got to sit there until everybody else, all the soft runners come in. And then we can look to maybe push him on a little bit more as well. Oh, that's ×4. It's a little bit too slow. We want to go ×8. All right. Is this the lap that we see Magnussen getting past George Russell? Oh, no, not quite.
Did somebody spin out there?
But Russell, Gasly's had another spin. Russell is definitely holding us up, isn't he? Has Magnussen got him that time? He has. And he's held the position. All right, let's go deploy and see if we can break clear of that now. And push onto the back of Hamilton, or at least get to within a second. And try and get the DRS off of Hamilton. Have we done that? I think we have. Yeah, K-Mag has got DRS, so we can sit off now. And if he does happen to get past, I wonder if we look to push on. And maybe this is going to be a good race for us after all here. He's got past Hamilton there. He's stayed in front. Let's deploy for a lap. See if we can get in clear. It doesn't look like we can. So we'll just have to accept that we're going to be sitting in a bit of a DRS train there and slingshotting back and forth. We've had a competitor crash, a yellow flag. Is it a safety car?
It's a yellow on the pit straight.
Verstappen has crashed. Now, Verstappen was behind us already with penalties. Now, has he taken out his old mate Ricciardo here? No, he's just shot straight on himself, and that is probably the end of Verstappen's race, I would say. No, he's still in it. But, well, I don't know for how long, because might be in name only, perhaps. But still, this is going very nicely indeed. We've got Sargeant doing an excellent job, just staying on Norris and Tsunoda there. Now, what tyres were Norris and Tsunoda on? They are both on soft, so he's doing a cracking job to stay with them. K-Mag is approaching his pit window. And he is actually now in his pit window. So we'll drive these tyres into the ground, and then once they're sort of not going to last us any longer, we'll come into the pits with him, strap on the hards, go to the end, and hope that well, he can keep it on the road as much as anything else. We've got to say, so far so good. Are we going to get a move done on Hamilton here? We do have DRS. Hamilton does not. You'd imagine it should be a bit of a slam dunk, but maybe Hamilton's on his Urs trying to protect it. Which, to be honest, it seems a bit silly at this point of the race. Just slingshot past each other. Another driver locked up. Sargeant has locked up. Oh, Logan, you were doing so well.
Now just focus on the Haas.
Now, has he hit anything? Oh, yes, he has. He has definitely hit something.
And that caused a lot of damage.
That's going to be a 5-second penalty.
That was a bitter blow for the team, and it may have really hurt their
yeah,
own chances.
That is not ideal. We are going to replace the front wing. Yes. Oh, and that is just. We'll put the medium on. He might be able to get to the end on a medium. It is a safety car. So, I mean, one thing that has done. So ignore that. Pit options. We will definitely be pitting K-Mag now onto the hard. Unfortunately, I dare say everybody else will be doing a similar sort of thing. It doesn't matter about conserving the tyres. There's his 5-second time penalty. At least he can serve it under the safety car. So that is perhaps something.
Looks like there's been a lockup.
George Russell is going to get screwed over here if they double stack. And they might even... Could K-Mag jump a Ferrari? No, Leclerc is staying out. Both the Mercedes stay out. And we got jumped there. Did we get jumped in the pits, I think? I think we got jumped in the pits. Who's made stops there? We did. Zoe and Ocon have both jumped us.
Available if you need it.
And you know what that is? That's being at the far end and having to give way to cars coming down the pit lane. Unfortunately, and there's nothing we can do about that. That is just our pit slot. Alright, so safety car is in. Racing is about to resume. Now, unfortunately, Sargeant is not going to be able to get to the end. So we're going to look to push him on as much as we can. And he'll still have to come in for a soft tyre at the end. So that is unfortunate for him. K-Mag, he can get to the end, obviously. He was in his pit window anyway. We've got some cars in front of us there who haven't stopped in Ricciardo and the Mercedes. One Ferrari has, one Ferrari hasn't. So, yeah, this will be an interesting race from now to the end, I dare say. It's just really annoying between our rubbish pit stops anyway, and then having the worst pit box on the grid. It's meant that yeah, Magnussen's been a little bit screwed, but he's got a fast car. He should be able to get past them anyway. DRS will be back this lap, of course. Stroll's had a spin. Latifi spun under the safety car, I think. DRS is now enabled.
DRS enabled. DRS enabled.
So let's hope that we can take advantage of that. And it doesn't look like we can as of yet. We'll go back to neutral with Sargeant. Where's he working his way back through to? So he's with Verstappen. If he can kind of stay with Verstappen, there's a few guys in the pits there. But if he can kind of stay with Verstappen and, you know, sort of get towed along, it might work out okay for him. And that's not worked. Verstappen is just driving away from him, unfortunately. Now, it looks like Magnussen is stuck behind Ricciardo just now. Now, he doesn't want to spend... Oh, everybody's in the pits. Everybody is stopped. Magnussen 5th. Sargeant to 8th. Now, he is going to have to stop again, so let's not get too excited. But that is very nice. Now, we're going to see Russell come in this lap, I think. Yes, we are. So that's Magnussen to 4th and Sargeant to 7th. And, well, of course, Sargeant is going to have soft tyres at the end, when everybody else is going to be on their very worn sets of hards. So this race might be coming to us a little bit here. Now we've got Verstappen and Leclerc all over the back of K-Mag. I suspect that's not going to... Yeah, there goes Verstappen, and Leclerc surely won't be too far behind. And that's one of those that's kind of okay. It's Zoe and Ocon that I want to get past. But they are sort of driving away from K-Mag a little bit here as well. Sargeant's got the recovering Perez, of course, who was on pole and spun on the first lap or locked up, whatever he did. And he's got the two Mercedes behind him as well. But that's 10th. There's a little bit of a gap then. 6-7 seconds back to Alonso in 11th. Now, a pit stop here isn't super long. So there's Leclerc getting past Magnussen now.
Who's running wide there?
If he can... Sargeant can just try and stay with those... Perez is gone, but if he can try and stay with the Mercedes a little bit, then what's happened? Guan Yu Zhou has had something happen because Magnussen's just gone past him. So Guan Yu Zhou has locked up. That's put Magnussen up to 5th now. And... well, let's see. Ocon is currently holding up Verstappen and Leclerc a little bit, though Verstappen has just got past him.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
So one Mercedes is past Sargeant. I suspect Hamilton won't be too far behind. How are we looking on his tyres there? And Alonso is catching him quite quickly now. These tyres are coming towards the end as well. And I said it was about lap 30, wasn't it, that we could come in for a soft. So he's overtaken Hamilton. He's staying with them, kind of. Perez has got Magnussen. That's to be expected. What we could... Yeah... Magnussen, okay, we've got to bring Sargeant in this lap because his tyres are about to go off the cliff. So we'll do that. We'll put on the soft. That should get him to the end. Now, does he have damage? Car parts? No. So if he does, it might be the chassis or something. It's not something that we can replace. So that's just kind of is what it is. All right, so we've got some deployment. Let's use it with K-Mag to try and catch back up. There's what, 12 or so laps, 14 laps to go. So Sargeant is 14th now. We'll keep an eye on lap times and see if he can close that down a little bit. We've had a competitor crash. Now, if this is a safety car, now who's crashed? It's not Magnussen that's crashed, is it?
Oh, and that's a crash.
No, Guan Yu Zhou has crashed again. Okay, so that's fine. He was behind us anyway, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a safety car. So we can see Ocon is, I mean, he's half a second or so, a little bit more than that, faster than Magnussen on that last lap. It is, of course, I think we only went to deploy halfway through that lap. So we'll see what sort of lap time Sargeant does this lap. And if he is likely... So Guan Yu Zhou, excuse me, is in the pits. So let's save it. Even deploying the whole lap, we're only a quarter of a second faster. Sargeant is, he's about half a second, no, he's not that much faster than the cars in front either. So if we can bring in a 6th place here for K-Mag, that's not a bad afternoon's work, is it? His tyre wear is fine. And, yeah, Sargeant is, I mean, he's quicker than those behind him. He's a little bit quicker than Ricciardo, half a second or so. But he's doing roughly the same pace, as those that are in front of him. So I dare say he's not going to trouble the points in this one. But Magnussen is doing a really good job. I wonder if it's probably getting a bit too late for anybody to come in and stop at this point, isn't it? Yeah, no one's tyres are really that badly done.
I think someone's
So
wide.
Verstappen's run wide. That's not going to help us. No, he's too far in front. So it's been a fairly straightforward race. The safety car, strangely enough, for Sargeant cause has really helped Magnussen. Of course, we were coming in anyway, and it's sort of helped him leapfrog
Been a lockup.
the Mercedes. What it has done, of course, is just let Ocon get in front of us. So I think in an ideal world, we would have managed to get 5th in this race, but they're doing fairly similar times, so it's debatable whether, you know, Ocon may well have beaten us anyway. He was in that train behind us at the start. I'm fairly sure he was just sitting behind Magnussen. So 3 laps to go. The gap to Russell is staying similar. Let's use some overtake. Let's use our little bit of extra petrol here. I don't want Russell getting within DRS is what I'm looking at. I'm terrified to tell K-Mag to push, because we know he's got a nice habit of locking up lately. Now I wonder, what's that last lap time? I wonder if Sargeant, a fully charged lap, if he could go and nick fastest lap. Let's go see what he can do. Yes, he wouldn't have started the last lap yet, would he? No. So actually, we probably want to hold off on that till we get to the last lap.
Copy.
When he comes around to start his final lap. Then we'll unleash the beast that is Logan Sargeant. See if he can get a little cheeky fight. He won't get the point, obviously. But it'd be nice to see if he could claim himself a fastest lap here. Let's keep an eye on the sector splits. And K-Mag is still 2.5 seconds or so, and he's past the last DRS zone, so that should be fine. So we're going to get an idea here. Is Logan Sargeant getting anywhere near? Sainz has just won the race. He's gone green. Now, what sort of damage did he have here?
He's taken the win.
Minor damage to the chassis, so he might be okay with that in terms of doing a fastest lap. But we saw before when we've tried to do this, we've missed it by absolute miles. Yeah, I think another couple of laps, I think Russell may have got K-Mag, but as long as he doesn't throw it into the fence at the end here, then he should be fine. Just pick your braking point, K-Mag. Nice, easy does it. And Kevin Magnussen is going to come across and finish 6th in the Belgian Grand Prix for Haas. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And it looks like Logan Sargeant is not going to set a fastest lap. He's doing his personal best. But it doesn't look as though he's got enough. He's on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap, it looks like, as well. And once again, here he goes. Attack it, mate. Attack it. What sort of lap time can he do? It looks like it's going to be a personal best. Can he get into the 146s? I think he did. He hasn't done the fastest lap, though, has he? No, they've gone faster, the guys up front, anyway. So there we go, 145.5 was the fastest lap. So Sargeant was roughly a second and a quarter off of it. We were never going to do that. But K-Mag, 8 more points for the team. That is wonderful stuff. And, I mean, Sargeant, I mean, he caused an accident. You know, I mean, he did well to stay on the lead lap, to be fair, considering some of the guys that went a lap down. So, yeah, that's all good. That's all good. We'll take that. K-Mag moves up a position to 7th in the championship. He's ahead of Bottas, I'm assuming, yeah, on best finish because he has that podium for Montreal. The team, well, again, we've just pushed that little bit further clear now of AlphaTauri. And Alfa Romeo suddenly look like they might be in striking distance for 5th. But the board wants 6th, and that is looking very, very good for us indeed. So let's see what we've got here. A development point for Logan Sargeant. We might need to work on braking, mate, so you don't run out the back of anybody. But that will do it. If you've enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. We'll be back next time. I believe the Dutch Grand Prix is next. That is more of a medium speed corner track, so that might suit us a little bit more. But, you know, for a track that didn't suit us, K-Mag came 6th, which isn't too bad. Take care.